hey there, hi there, and hello there. It's been a while. Again, I would like to get into where I have been the last few weeks, but first let me tell you about what we're going to do today. I had a bit of a plan for November, but obviously that didn't pan out. So we're just gonna scrap that and we're gonna try something new. I have the new Melt Cosmetics Amor and Mariposa palette. I have both the eyeshadow palette and the face palette. And I'm going to be using both of those today. They are supposed to represent fond memories of those no longer with us. I'm sure everybody has had a pretty rough 2020 and maybe even a rough 2021 as well. So I think it's a really nice sentiment behind the collection. As you can see, I've changed up the background a little bit. I have some peach Bellini burning in the wax warmer and it smells amazing. And today's little tarot card is the Five of Pentacles. Circumstances have changed and financial comfort seems a thing of the past. What's to be done? The picture painted by the Five of Pentacles is not always a pretty one, although it has its comforts. It reminds us of the potential emotional hardship of the outside world, the threat of eating out of trash cans, sleeping in cold garages, and the other travails of street cat life. Some interpretations, though, are far cheerier, focusing on the wealth we find in love and companionship, which is a very fitting card for the collection that we're doing today. I feel like that represents a lot of the same sentiment that a lot of us have been struggling recently and sort of just powering through. You probably noticed that the setup is a little bit different. My ring light fell apart. The light itself still works. I've kind of managed to attach it up to the wall, but the part that actually holds my phone is no longer functional. So I have a little suction cup thing on my mirror holding my phone up. Not a big fan of the angle so far, but it works and we'll adjust. So let's get into the makeup and start talking, you guys. How has your November been? I hope that your November has been better than mine. And I'll tell you a little bit about that. I'm gonna want to start with the eyeshadow palette first again, because there are definitely some very bold and pigmented colors. I'm probably gonna do two different eye looks, one on each eye, so we can try a lot of these shades, because there are a lot of really pretty shades. There are some mattes, metallics, and some, I'm not sure if they're pressed, I wouldn't call them pressed glitters, but some more glittery shades. So I'll want to do my face after my eyes. We're gonna dive into that. I think we'll do a green and beige brownish eye, and then we'll do a more warm toned and purple eye, so we can try a bunch of shades. First, I'm going to prime the eye is what I'm going to do. I've got some Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion again. This one is called Eden, and this one does have a tint to it. This beauty blender is brand new. It is supposed to look like this, so no fear, guys. No fear! Alright, now I'm going to dive into the colors. This is an Ulta brush. It's from the Harry Potter collection and it's called The Stone. So I'm going to dip that brush into... I'm probably going to butcher a few of these names because I do not speak Spanish at all. I took psychology instead of Spanish in high school, and yeah, my Spanish accent is horrible. But I'm going to dip into Cenales. Sorry my nails aren't pretty this time. I was working with some plants, trying to save one of my poor plants that is not doing so well. All right, so I'm gonna take that Sinales and I'm gonna do this eye with the browns and greens, and I'm just gonna put that above the crease. Like I was saying, let me try to stay in frame. So far, November has been pretty crazy. I had a few different videos planned and I was pretty excited for those. And I'll still get to them eventually, but plans have changed again because at the beginning of the month, my dog started acting really weird. And doing a lot of things that were very out of character. So I took her to the vet, and she had an infection, and she ended up having to go into emergency surgery. That was really stressful, and she was in recovery for a couple of weeks, during which time I ended up having a Crohn's flare-up and going into the hospital. And while I was there, I don't know if you guys are familiar with fentanyl, but it's a pretty strong painkiller, and they gave me that 3 times and it wasn't working, so they gave me some Dilaudid, which finally did the trick. I'm gonna dip into Carino. That is a lighter matte green. It's almost minty. And I'm gonna add that just above where I just put the taupey shade. I'm not getting a whole lot out of that. Definitely more of a buildable shade. I can see the green. Looks sort of bruisey and I love that. But it's not quite as pigmented as the first shade. So after my dog, I keep leaning out of frame. So after my dog had to have emergency surgery, she had some sutures for a couple of weeks. And at the end of that time, obviously, I took her to get them out. I'm gonna dip into the darker green now, which is Guamuchi. I took her just a few days ago to go get her stitches out, and it went really well, no issues. I'm gonna stick this just in the corners. But on the way home, we encountered a bit of an accident on the highway. We were just driving along and somebody in the opposite lane was waiting to make a turn, and the person behind them was not paying attention and rear-ended them and pushed them into my car. So my beautiful, lovely, sweet little Nissan now has a crumpled butt. Insurance will cover it. I'm sure everything will get fixed, but man, that was not fun. I couldn't really get out of the car because I couldn't leave my dog, so I was waiting in there for a while. But oh, it was so crazy. After I saw the cars strike each other, and you know, the one was going about 70 miles an hour, I saw a guy get out of the car and fall into the ditch, and I thought, oh my god, somebody's dead. So obviously I called 911 to make sure that they would arrive, because I didn't know if anyone else had. I'm gonna take some more of the first shade, Sorales, and blend out the top again. Apparently everyone was fine, they'll just be really sore, and I'm sure that guy is gonna have a rough week because his car is totaled. The lady who he hit, her car is totaled. She probably has a little bit of whiplash, and my car is gonna need fixed as well. And he has some interesting coverage, interesting insurance company name that I have never heard of. Something local. We'll see how that goes. I want to try more shades. So I think I'm going to dip into Sentimentos, which is another green, sort of in between minty and foresty. And I've just been using this same brush the whole time, just so everyone knows, in case anyone cares. And I'm gonna go right in and under the crease with that. Then yesterday, I woke up and my power was out and my phone was dead. So obviously without my power, I couldn't charge my phone. Finally found some portable chargers and those did nothing. My phone was just refusing to charge for some reason. Finally, I found one that started working and managed to call the electric company. I am not the best at staying on top of everything.
That's what she said.
Honestly. They send, mine is sort of like a pay as you go, like putting gas in your car. And I got the notification that I was running low and then kind of forgot about it. I didn't get the second notification, so oops. But as you can see now, we have electricity. I unscrewed one of the light bulbs. I think that the lighting is a little bit better, but I'm gonna need to work on the angle and the framing because goodness sake. Greens and browns can get muddy really easy, but I definitely think this is adding dimension and not really getting muddy, at least not from what I see. I'm going to pause on this eye for now. I'm going to pick up a similar blending brush. This one is from Beauty Bakery. It's got a little whisk on it. And I'm going to start on the other eye by dipping into Abuelita, which is sort of like a tangerine kind of orange. And I'm just going to throw that right in the crease. These shadows so far are really pigmented. It doesn't take much. There's not a lot of fallout. And it's not even ruining the butterfly imprint upon first use. Oh wow, that's so pigmented. I just barely touched that and that went really, 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 really far. You definitely do not need very much of this stuff, you guys. Oh, is that Christmassy or what? Next, I'm going to go into Perla, which is this red in the bottom corner. I'm actually going to get a smaller brush for that. Just another Essence Smoky Eyes brush. If you have been watching me, you've seen me use those, and you know that I love them because they are cheap, soft, and they work. So Thanksgiving is coming up, and I definitely do want to do a cooking video. I think I have a plan, and I am hoping to get that video out just a few days from whenever you're watching this. By the way, I'm just putting this in the crease but focusing on the outer corners. Are you guys excited for Thanksgiving? Are you working for Thanksgiving? If it's your first Black Friday working, I wish you luck. I believe in you. You will get through it. If you're not working for this holiday season, what are you planning to do? Are you going to go to see your family? Are you having a Friendsgiving? Are you staying in by yourself and just having a grateful day? Let me know what your plans are. I would love to hear it. I have spent a few Thanksgivings just by myself, and it can actually be kind of fun because you can make whatever you want for dinner. It doesn't have to be, you know, a turkey and mashed potatoes. Well, obviously we're still going to have mashed potatoes or some form of potatoes.
Say that again, Kathleen. Now I'm a bit confused and you're doing me a concern.
But you can make whatever you want. You want macaroni and cheese? You want an ice cream sundae? Whatever, it's your Thanksgiving, right? Let me know what you guys are going to do, because I don't really have any plans. I'm probably going to go see my mom. I mean, I don't know why I wouldn't. This is not very Thanksgiving-y, but I kind of want to make potato salad.
Huh?
I'm very picky about potato salad. I don't like buying it from the store, but I like making it. I think next I'm gonna go into Almohada, I think is how you would say it. This palette is so pretty. The butterflies all over it are just so pretty. Trying not to blind you with a mirror, but the mirror is surrounded by butterflies. And this, something really cool about this is when I ordered it, I don't have the best vision and I was looking at it on my phone, so I thought that it had a strip of like vines and thorns across it, but they're actually hummingbirds. And hummingbirds remind me of my grandma. It just makes sense. It brings a personal context to this palette. I'm really glad that I bought this palette, and it is performing really nicely so far. The greens are definitely more toned down than the warmer colors so far, but they're still quite pigmented. So I'm gonna go in with Almohada just in the corners and kind of add a little bit of a sunset vibe, hopefully. I'm kind of going for a halo eye shape on both sides. I might end up cutting them, but I'm not gonna cut the crease all the way. It'll just be a halo cut. Sorry I keep leaning out of frame. That's probably really annoying. I'll try to get used to the new angle. It is starting to feel a little dry as I'm building up this shade, and I can see the slightest bit of patchiness. I'm gonna go back into the Abuelita. Why do I struggle so much with that word? The more tangerine shade. I'm just gonna add a little bit of that to the brush, tap it off a little bit, and try to work that in, see if it'll help blend. I think that did help a little bit, but it's still definitely, it feels a little dry going over just the crease with my brush. Anyway, so now let's grab some of that Massage, I think is what it's called, and try to blend out the top a little bit. That's this shade here. And I'm gonna do that with the Beauty Bakery brush. So you guys, what is your favorite Thanksgiving dish? Do you have a favorite classic dish? When I was a kid, I was always really obsessed with the canned cranberry sauce. Not the kind that has the little berries and sticks in it, but the kind that's just sugar jelly. And of course, mashed potatoes. I don't know how you can not love mashed potatoes.
Yeah, baby.
I wasn't really the biggest turkey gal growing up. I think I started to like it more when I got older, and then I became a vegetarian, so I don't eat it anymore. Not a fan of tofurkey, so I usually just make, you know, all the other stuff. Green bean casserole, oh, that's a good one. Love some green bean casserole. That one's a little harder to make because I can't have wheat, and a lot of the soup that you would use for green bean casserole has wheat in it, which is just unnecessary, in my opinion. But it's so worth it. So worth it. Okay, so let's see. Is there anything else we can dip into? We've got a lot of color here. I think maybe on the green side we could probably add a little bit more. I think I'm gonna go back into the Sentimentos, which was the sort of medium green, and just add a little bit more color to that side. So I think as you build these up, because they are so pigmented, it does get a little dry. There's sort of a limit to how much you can build, where it sort of just kind of maxes out what will stick there. I think that also is kind of helpful to keep from getting too pigmented. I think it looks a little more pigmented on camera, or a little more colorful, a little more bright. So far it looks pretty good in person. I'm going to want to blend out the edge again, so I'm color swatching that brush. I'm going in on this side with that the stone brush. So I'm color swatching that, and then I'm going to go back into Senalis, the first shade we used, just to blend out the top again. They do all blend together really nicely though. And they're not nearly as messy as a lot of colors that are this pigmented from other brands. I've always really liked everything that I've tried from Melt Cosmetics, and so far this is no different. It is really doing a great job. I do want to deepen up this side just a little bit on the corners because we have so much depth created in this eye. I want to kind of try to get that on the other eye. So I'm going to go into Charo, which seems to be a dark brown. It might be a little cool toned, but I think just a touch of it won't hurt. I'm going to use another Essence Smoky Eye brush, and I'm going to go into that shade just on the corners. Only the slightest bit of patchiness, and that seems to be where my eyeshadow never sticks. Other than that, it's looking pretty good. Alright, so let's go ahead and cut those halos with some concealer. I'm going to use the Tarte Shape Tape. This is the ultra creamy version. It is more dewy than the original formula. Just using a flatter brush from It Brushes to blend that out. Yes, I love it. It's coming out great. Okay, so I just used one side of it for this side and one for the other, and I'm going to use the same brush to use the shimmers. I think for this side I'm going to have to use Cielito Lindo. That just looks so pretty. Make sure I put it on the green side. It's a little more minty and a little less teal than I was expecting. I might want to mix in the Mihokan. I'm going to pat a little bit of that on and try to make it a little bit more dark and teal. It's kind of cute. I like the grunge feel to it. So for the other side, I'm going to go into Mariposa, which is a orange shimmer. That is definitely like a true monarch orange kind of color. And I'm going to use that same flat brush, but I'm going to color swatch the heck out of it because I don't really want to get any green. I don't really like to use more brushes than I have to, so if I feel like I can get away with it, I'll reuse the same brush. Oh, that is pretty. Okay, so I did a lot better of a job at keeping this one a halo eye. This one is definitely not a halo eye anymore. That looks so nice in person. The warm colors blend like a dream. These colors are a little bit more difficult, but I think one of the greens was a little warmer and that might have muddied it up. So I'm just gonna spend a little bit of time with my Essence Smoky Eyes brush, cleaning up the green side a little bit. Oh, if pie wasn't already your answer to your favorite Thanksgiving dish, what is your favorite pie on Thanksgiving? Are you a pie person? Does your family do something besides pie? I've never really heard of anyone doing different desserts, maybe fruitcake type of stuff. What do you guys do? Do you have something, ooh, do you guys have something weird that's a tradition at your house? Let me know, because I am super interested. Okay, so now I'm gonna do my eyebrows. I think I'm gonna use this Tarte Sketch and Set brow product. So this has a skinny pencil on one end and a brow gel on the other. I'm gonna just do my brows real quick. This is in ash blonde, by the way. Do you guys have one good brow and one evil brow? Because I definitely do. I don't know what happened over here. It seems like a lot of the brow gel got caught there. But I guess we're gonna go with a fluffy rounded shape for that side. Very interesting.
Interesting.
Next, I'm going in with my face primer, and I am gonna be using the NYX Marshmallow Primer that I forgot to use last time. It smells so nice. Alright, then I'm going to go in with a new foundation. It is the Dior Backstage. I have to blame Nady for me buying this. He talks about it all the time and I just had to try it. We're going to go ahead and put that on this beige beauty blender. Hopefully that's not too much. This beauty blender is one of, like I said, it's new. It has a sort of different texture than the original beauty blender. It's sort of similar to the Beauty Bubble, but a little less velvety. Seems to be doing a pretty decent job. The Dior and the NYX smell a little odd together. If you guys can see this, but it looks beautiful everywhere except for right here. It's almost like it's just not staying. Yeah, it's sort of just not sticking right there. I can definitely still see the redness. That's so weird, but everywhere else it looks really nice. Let's go in with that same Tarte Shape It Tippy. The odd thing with this is a little spreads a really long way, but I can still see the purple from my under eyes through the concealer. Not a lot of concealers can handle my purple though. I have a few things to say so far. Again, I can still see the purple under my eyes and the red on my cheek a little bit. As far as the brows, one of them looks pretty okay and the other looks like a mess. I have no idea what's going on there. It's weird. This side just looks really thick and chunky.
I like 'em big, I like 'em chunky, I like 'em big, I like 'em lumpy, I like 'em round with something, something.
Next, I'm going to go in with a little layer of powder. I'm going to use the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, and I'm going to be using that same e.l.f. Cosmetics powder brush that I like so much. It's very large and fluffy. Then for bronzer, ooh, powder explosion. For bronzer, I'm going to use the Beauty Bakery Smackaroons bronzer in House Blend. It's got a little bit of powder on it too. And I'm going to use another Ulta Harry Potter brush. This one is the Cloak. A lot of kickback with this. Oh, wow. For blush, of course, I'm going to use their face palette, the Monarca face palette. There are a lot of really vibrant colors in here. I think what I'm going to do is use Milagritos for this side and the sort of shimmery Vida for this side. Let's grab a blush brush. I think this is a foundation brush. This is an e.l.f. 103, but I do like to use it for blush. So I'm going to go into the lighter Milagritos first. Oh, it's such a shame to dip into that pretty pan. Oh, doesn't look like you need much. I'm assuming their shimmery blush will sort of be like their blush light formula, which I love the cream version of, and I'm excited to try the powder version of. I just ordered one off of clearance not too long ago that I haven't tried yet. It is sort of like a white green shimmer, so when I get that, I'll probably use that for like a Christmassy look. I think that'd be neat. Yeah, that seems like it's definitely consistent with the blush light formula. It's not too shiny, it's not like very metallic. There's some really dark shades in here that I'm probably gonna have to use with the lighter shade, but I'm really glad there's a good variety in there because you can mix these for sure. And I like the two that we tried. Now I'm gonna do the under eye, the lower lash line, just real quick. Just blending out the same colors I used on the top of each eye. And I'm going to use those Essence Smoky Eye brushes. This palette does have a really big mirror, so if you use eyeshadow palette mirrors, which I don't usually, but this is a really nice mirror. Alright, I'm gonna grab a clean brush. Something fluffy but not too huge. This It Cosmetics brush. And I'm gonna put some translucent powder on to blend out the lower lash line. Definitely not the cleanest lines, but I've done worse. Okay, so now I'm going to grab a highlighter. I think I'm going to use the Moonchild palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. That's a throwback. I'm going to use Lucky Clover and Pink Heart. On one of those Real Techniques setting brushes. Lucky Clover on the green side. These highlighters have some of the most beautiful shifts. I managed to get this palette for $20 when it was half off. So if you can find a Moonchild or really any of the Anastasia highlighter palettes, they are so amazing. They are some of my favorite highlighter palettes to use. So now I want to set the face a little bit, and I'm going to use the Professional Super Setter from Benefit. This is relatively new. I've tried it once or twice, and I did like it. Then I'm going to go in with some eyeliner. On this side, I'm going to go in with the ColourPop X Raw Beauty Christie Spare Time, T-H-Y-M-E, so cute. Just line that in real quick. There's one spot where it doesn't quite want to go, but I think we made it work. Eyes are a little red, but nothing crazy. So on the other side, let's do this pink that I have from Urban Decay. It's called Woodstock. Because why not? I feel like the older I get, the more sensitive my waterline is getting. And that's unfortunate. Kind of want to do a winged liner on one side. I'm very out of practice at liquid liner, but you know what? We're not going anywhere. This is just for fun. Let's try it. Let's try this L'Oreal Paris Flash Cat Eye. It does come with a little stencil thing that hooks right onto the side, but I'm gonna try without the stencil. This is a brush tip liner, and it is black, of course. Things got very thick very fast.
That's what she said.
We got us a Winehouse wing. But you know what? I love Amy Winehouse, so bring it on. What a mess. Okay, on one side we've got that, and on one side we've got that. Yep. Well, I warned y'all, I'm no good with liquid eyeliner anymore, but I just need some practice. Alright, so I think we can do mascara now. I'm gonna do a black mascara. Oh, I'm gonna try the Fenty Beauty mascara. Full Frontal, which I have not tried yet. It has a brush that is fat one way and skinny the other. So let's load her up. I'd say that's pretty nice. I do think that the liquid liner is a little bit messy. I'm gonna get a black eyeshadow and a little brush and just try to see if I can clean it up or smoke it out a bit. I just grabbed the first palette that I saw that I knew had a black, and that is the Sipping Pretty from Kylie Cosmetics. We'll get to her later, but I'm gonna use the black from that palette. Tiniest bit of fallout, but it seems to all wipe away. That's a little bit better. I have not done liquid liner in a really long time, so I'm not gonna be too hard on myself. Alright, so I think one of the last things for us to do is lipstick. We have a green eye and a pink eye.
I literally have pink eye.
You know, I just got a sample of Charlotte Tilbury's Pillow Talk, and I've been wanting to try that, so maybe we'll use that one. We find a lip liner that would go with it. I think this shade Hawkwind from KVD Beauty, their Everlasting formula, would probably go pretty well with it, so I'm gonna try that. It's a pretty creamy formula. Then I'm gonna go in with the Pillow Talk. Well, that comes out a lot lighter. But it does feel a little dry, so I'm gonna add some Fenty Gloss. I think I'm just gonna use the clear one. And, ooh, whoa. Whoa. She's gooey.
That's what he said, right, guys? Because of gay.
But I don't want to get the color all over the wand, so I'm just going to put a little on my ring finger and dab it on. I don't know how girls overline their lips. It always looks so obvious to me. I can see exactly where it's overlined. maybe I'm missing something. I love these glosses. They smell amazing. All right, y'all, that is the finished look. Let me just do a half and half. What do we think? I can't see this side at all when I block the other eye, but I think the green side actually looks pretty nice. The liquid eyeliner is a little wobbly on both sides, but you know, we'll improve upon that. Overall, I think both these looks came out pretty nice. I especially like the eyeshadow on this side and the liner a little better on this side. Wow, yeah, that palette is really good, you guys. All the shadows that I tried are really nice. They blend together perfectly. There's a few shades I didn't use, but they're mostly warmer, like browns and beiges, which are usually pretty easy to nail. And since they did the more vibrant colors so well, I'm betting that those are going to be smashing. So, wow.
Wow.
It's been a couple of hours that I've been filming, but it feels like it's only been a few minutes. I hopefully will be filming another video in just a couple of days, and I hope to get that one up by Thanksgiving so we can celebrate together. I feel like everything's just a little messy today, but things have just been a little messy in general lately, so are we shocked? I'm not. Again, I'm not a makeup artist. I'm just some girl doing makeup in my closet, so I'm glad that you guys were able to come hang out with me. I hope that you like at least one of the looks. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think I did a decent job? What do you think of the eyeshadow palette? What do you think of the face palette? Oh, since this eyeshadow palette is based on fond memories, let me know if you guys have any like sweet stories that you would like to share about someone that you care about. Is there anything that whenever you see it, it makes you think of somebody special? Like the monarchs often make people think of their loved ones. They are sort of a symbol for those who are no longer with us. And you know, I can't believe I'm just noticing this, but so one of the creators, or the creator of Melt Cosmetics, part of who she's dedicating this palette to is her puppy that she did lose, and I'm just now seeing that one of the butterfly's wings has the puppy's face. It is so sweet. You can really tell they put a lot of thought and a lot of heart into this, and it's not just another butterfly palette. I think it's really special. It has really beautiful sentiments. I think the names all have personal meanings behind them. I do kind of wish I spoke Spanish, because the only one I understand, well, there's a couple. I do understand, I think abuelita is like grandmother, mariposa is butterfly, mesquite, we're familiar with that word, and then tequila, that one I know. It's just a beautiful palette. It performs amazing. I don't think there's any question that we're gonna give it a gold star. That is a 5-star rating. I love the packaging. I love the formula. I think it is a good value for what you're getting, especially from an indie brand. I'll insert the price right here because I did buy it as a bundle, so I'll let you know the price individually for just the eyeshadow palette, then just the face palette, and then what the bundle was. I did also get 25% off of my order with a coupon code they were doing, which was really awesome. That usually doesn't apply to new releases, so I thought that was really cool. But I think it was worth every penny. It's absolutely beautiful. The color story I love, because you do get plenty of palettes that have like cool tone and warm tone, but you don't see a lot that have these rusty colors along with these sort of foresty greens, and it's just a really wide variety while also staying cohesive. So I'm a big fan of that. I love every aspect of this palette. I'm thrilled with it. 5 out of 5. Highly recommend. If you can pick it up, totally pick it up. I think it might be limited edition, so you might want to run and grab this. I think it's one of the best palettes from Melt that I have tried so far, and I do have a few from them. I think that's all that we have to talk about today. We caught up a little bit, so you know kind of what I was up to. let me know what you guys have been up to, because it's been a few weeks since we hung out and I would like to hear what you guys have accomplished in those weeks. Let me know what you guys are doing for Thanksgiving. Let me know what your favorite treats are, what your favorite traditions are. The comments, I do answer the comments and I do love getting your guys' comments. They really do help out my engagement, which is really cool. Even if you're just leaving an emoji or a useless phrase or even an insult, I don't care. I love the engagement. Go ahead and poke that like button and poke that subscribe button as well if you haven't already. Also, the little bell notification so that you know every time I am up to no good. Thanks again for coming, you guys, and I will see you very soon in the next one. Bye!